on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
All right, Rudy jumps on the right to it, a guest on here on Fox Sports 910. All right, Rudy, let's start with the big news this morning with Ray Anderson resigning. And I'm sure there's still a lot of things that need to be, I'm sure will come out eventually. But do you think this was something he did on his own, or maybe there would have been, some powers to be, Michael Crow or some alum that wanted him out?
Well, I mean, if you ask the ASU fan base, the ASU fan base has wanted him out for a long time.
Yeah.
I think when the news broke before the season started about, some of the self-imposed sanctions and things of that nature, I think there's a lot of very, very, high-ranking ASU people who are very upset about that. A lot of fans who are upset about that. And, I think that they wanted him out ASAP. I mean, on top of that, obviously they've, had a lot of struggles this year, but my best guess, and again, I don't have any inside information, is that this is probably something that has been in the works and in talks for a while now. With all of the other, firings or even resignations that you've seen go on in other college programs regarding the head coaches, whether it's Boise State, Mississippi State, Texas A&M. I just think because of the transfer portal and the people, poaching out of the transfer portal, I think programs and teams now have decided if they're going to make moves at, head coaching spots or athletic director spots, they got to do it as soon as possible. So we can get somebody else hired to prevent their roster from really getting poached of all their better recruits.
I think the other thing, too, is then when I wonder if this all began was a couple years ago when Ray Anderson, he wasn't much into the NIL or the transfer portal that you mentioned. But I think that this writing has been on the wall, and it seems the insinuation by several powers to be and several sources have said that with him not buying in, that was the main culprit, that the next 80 that comes in has to be bought in to that circumstance. You find that to be true? And if that is, where are the alumni and boosters to step up and try to make that happen?
Well, to me, that's kind of the conundrum in this situation. I mean, there's really no doubt about it. You've heard Kenny Dillingham, rail on it all season long, and really ever since he got the job here that, they need to get this NIL program going. They need to get it figured out. They need to ramp it up. They need to do it ASAP. It can't happen fast enough. And to me, every time I hear Kenny talk about the NIL program, to me, what it just sounds like, what he's really saying is, number one, we don't have the support from, the powers to be here, like the athletic director, and we don't have the support from our booster club. And so, there's been a lot of people, powerful people with money at ASU who have acted as if like they're not going to support the program until Ray Anderson is gone. Now Ray Anderson is gone. So to me, people got to start putting their money where their mouth is, and they got to start stepping up to the plate and making a formidable, collective or NIL program here at ASU. Otherwise, it's just all talk. And, I love ASU, but in my perspective, it's always been all talk.
All right, then let me follow up with that. Don't you believe that Ray Anderson was just the voice box for the president, Michael Crow, and that he was doing Michael Crow's bidding, who had already been a naysayer to jump to the Big 12 and wanted to try to stay and was interested in the all-streaming package? And I'm just curious, Rudy, did Ray Anderson just follow orders and it cost him his job?
That's a good question. I don't really know. I mean, just look at where as an entirety the ASU athletic program is. And I mean, this is the second highest paid athletic director in the country. I just don't know how you justify it. But, to me, the Herm Edwards thing was just a lot of dirty ball, in my view, a lot of inside, a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. But I mean, to me, it just, I don't know, similar to the Pac-12 at the conference, it just seems to me that some of the powers to be inside ASU and some of the other programs, they're just not forward thinking. They just don't have a good deep on, what the next thing is or what the next upcoming thing is. And they don't understand, I guess, how to stay ahead of the curve, if that makes any sense. And it's almost like, you can think or say whatever you want about the Colorado Buffaloes and Deion Sanders, but to me, that's forward thinking, right? It just looks like when you look at the ASU program, there's no hype, there's no NIL, there's lack of recruiting, they're just so far behind, and it's just making the job even bigger for Kenny Dillingham.
He's Rudy Carpenter here on the Right to It, a guest on here on Fox Sports 910. Turn our attention, I should say, to the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray's debut for 2023. How'd you feel he did?
He played great. I mean, I really thought he played great. Did a great job, and obviously showed he's a big part of this organization, and he's probably what they're missing. The weird thing is that you got Josh Dobbs, who's gone on to Minnesota and played great too. So I don't know. We'll see what happens over the rest of the season. Me personally, I think Kyler played great. I still think it's a really big risk playing him right now.
And on top of that, Rudy, from the standpoint of his running ability to throw, I think Drew Petzing, what are your thoughts on his game plan as far as some of the throws, getting the ball down the field, utilizing their tight end and Trey McBride the way that they did? Petzing, knowing he's got a quarterback in there, his first game in 11 months, coming off reconstruction knee surgery.
Well, I thought he did a good job. And to me, that's what makes it hard for guys like us to talk on the radio and on TV and everywhere else, is because I have a really hard time believing that all of a sudden this week the play calling changed and the aggressiveness changed. And so to me, I just wonder if it's more of, Kyler coming back, knowing he's the franchise guy.
2 minutes.
Having a lot more confidence in his ability to throw the ball down the field, knowing his guys, et cetera, than a guy like Josh Dobbs, who'd only been here for a few weeks and was really still trying to figure his way out. And obviously, he felt like maybe he couldn't throw the ball down the field because he was on such a short leash, which obviously we now know he was. I don't know. It's a lot goes into this stuff, but you prepare in OTAs, you prepare in training camp, you prepare in practice and play games. And I just have a hard time believing that all of a sudden Kyler Murray came back week one and the play calling was just totally different. The execution was a lot better though. And I just think that's a truth of the matter.
Hey, real quick, I got about a minute. Shannon Sharp went on television today and said C.J. Stroud is the best quarterback in the National Football League. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah. I don't know. You guys watch that guy on TV? I mean,
I didn't see it.
Smart guy. I respect him a lot as a player. He's done a great job in his post career of being a loud dude and making a lot of money. So I respect everything about Shannon Sharp and what he's done. But CJ Stroud is having a special year. He's having a dynamic year. What he's been able to do as a rookie has been impressive and really, it's been almost unbelievable, especially with where that roster's been, how bad that team's been the last few years, but he's not the best quarterback in the league.
So he's the Brock Purdy of 2023. Would you agree? He's the flavor?
Could be.
Yep.
He could be. It's a great story, right?
Yep.
He's playing great, got some come from behind wins, he's had a little bit of magic, right? They've been doing a lot of good things with young players. D'Amico Ryans is a really, really good first-year coach. There's a lot of things going their way. It's a good story. Look, Americans like a good story, like an underdog, and that's what C.J. Stroud has been this year.
Rudy, we enjoy it, buddy. As always, have a good week. Thank you.
All right, guys, take care.
Rudy Carpenter joining us. You can follow him on Twitter at RudyGCarp12. We should have some more time to talk about Ray Anderson. I do want to get his thoughts next week when we get a little bit more information. And how about the Devils going into the Rose Bowl and taking care of business, over UCLA. So that was good to see. He is brought to you today by All City Towing. They continue to grow.